you going to step up or not?
Spider-Man Far From Home is officially out, and its post-credit scenes may have you picking your jaw up off the floor. First off, it must be said, spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen Spider-Man Far From Home, seriously, click off this video like right now. So Far From Home is the final film in Marvel's Phase 3, and it comes with some pretty shocking post-movie scenes that hint at, well, the future of the MCU. So let's break down the mid-credit scene first. The film ends with Peter Parker and MJ finally going on their first date, which consists of, well, swinging through the Big Apple, of course. Afterwards, Spider-Man is perched on top of a streetlight when a breaking news report takes over one of the big video screens. The famous Daily Bugle has gotten an InfoWars-style makeover for the MCU and is now the dailybugle.net. And this is the moment that had the audience in my theater probably losing their shit. At the helm, screaming nonsense at us yet again, is Jonah Jameson, played by J.K. Simmons. That's right, J.K. is back, this time with a slightly different spin on the classic character, who we honestly hope will continue yelling at us in the MCU for many years to come. But back to the Daily Bugle's news report. Footage courtesy of Mysterio before he died starts playing, and it claims that Spider-Man is actually the one who ordered the massive drone attack and murdered Mysterio. Now, as viewers, we know this footage has been doctored and fits in with Mysterio's whole "people will believe anything" attitude. Now, if you're wondering how this footage could have been leaked to Jameson, well, there is a quick scene in the movie showing Ralphie from A Christmas Story, William Ginter Riva, Mysterio's right-hand man, who also happened to appear in the first Iron Man, saving some footage to a flash drive before everything went south. So in a way, Mysterio's illusions live on. But the real kicker of this scene is that it ends with Mysterio revealing that Spider-Man is none other than Peter Parker, with Peter's school picture plastered all over the big screen. So much for Peter spending 2+ hours trying to keep his identity a secret. Like, even his Peter tingle couldn't predict this twist. Now the question is, will the public actually believe the salacious Daily Bugle? Now moving on to the end credit scene. If you thought Nick Fury wasn't quite, well, Nick Fury enough in Far From Home, there's actually a reason for that. We see Nick Fury and Maria Hill driving, discussing how they really need to tell someone how the mission went and how they actually got a few things wrong, which they say is embarrassing for a shapeshifter. But why would Nick Fury say that? Well, because this whole time, it was not actually Nick and Maria we were watching in this movie, but Talos and Soren, the Skrulls we first met in Captain Marvel. They were covering for Nick Fury, who we see relaxing by a beach, which actually isn't the beach. Instead, he's on a massive spaceship full of Skrulls, who he tells to get back to work. This has everyone's head spinning at the realization that maybe it hasn't been Nick Fury barking orders at our heroes this entire time. It could have been a Skrull. Maybe that explains why Nick Fury says he can't eat diagonally cut toast in Captain Marvel, but is then seen cutting his sandwich diagonally in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Then again, maybe he's cool with it because that bread wasn't toasted, or maybe the man has just gotten over his fears in the last 20 years. But to sum all this up, moving forward, we can expect Peter Parker to do damage control when it comes to being framed and his identity exposed. Some also think that Nick Fury is working with the Skrulls in space. That means we could see Sword in Phase 4, which is essentially the space version of S.H.I.E.L.D. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what's in store whenever Marvel finally decides to announce their Phase 4 plans. But I want to know what you thought of Spider-Man Far From Home and these end credit scenes. So hit me up in the comments with all your reactions and theories for Phase 4. Then keep the party going with one of our other videos that's popping up right about now. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'm Lisa, and you can find me on the socials at Lisa_Heiser, and I'll see you later.